but human lives are a lot cheaper than fighter planes. So if they want to continue this war, they have to use ground forces. You're forced to use ground forces just because of the economics of war. What I mean by that is they tried 1 or 2 months of aerial bombardment, and that's extremely expensive, especially because you're using fighter planes like the F-15 that cost about $90 million. So if one gets shot down, that's a lot of money. But even if they don't shoot these things down, you're expending a lot of money on munitions to blow up mountains, right? So the economics of war compels you to use ground forces because, I hate to say this, okay, but human lives are a lot cheaper than fighter planes. So if they want to continue this war, they have to use ground forces. That's point 2. Point 3 is the American doctrine of war to use proxies. So what they need to do is convince the Kurds, convince the Iraqis, convince the Saudis to commit ground forces against the Iranians. They also want to maybe stir up some ethnic tension in Balochistan, which is in the southeast corner of Iran, right beside Pakistan. So that area is Sunni, and the government in Tehran is Shia, right? So there's always been this religious conflict. They also might want to bring in Azerbaijan in the north, right? So the American strategy is always to use proxies rather than to use their own forces. So I'd be very surprised if you saw a massive American ground invasion into the country. What I think will happen is that once the weather becomes cooler, maybe in 2 months' time, you'll see special forces embed themselves into ethnic tribes in the country, and you'll see maybe limited ground attacks against Iran, basically trying to target the oil infrastructure of the country, trying to dislodge the IRGC from the Strait of Hormuz, and trying to stir up as much ethnic tension in the country as possible.
Let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz specifically, because I think you mentioned earlier is that Donald Trump was very surprised that they were able to actually close that. And
everyone told him they would do it, and he didn't listen.